Me again, the Puzzle Master, and I'm coming at you with a video I'm going to title North Korea versus Canada. Okay? And I wrote most of the information down because it's a rather deep topic, and I wanted it to be organized because I tend to be kind of scatterbrained when I'm making my videos, so I figured this would be a good way to ensure that I get the information out there in a well-constructed, formulated way. Okay, so beginning. I recently watched a documentary where a guy actually went to North Korea, and the streets there and buildings look the same as here in Canada. It looks just like here, like Toronto or Parry Sound. They have pools, gyms, and amenities. And they have governments and corporations, like here. But everything, like big oil, is owned by their government. So all of the profit there from the damage and destruction that they're inflicting on the earth, from extracting their oil and gold, and it's all done mostly off of the slave labor of the citizens, aware of it or not. So basically, it's all their profit, and made off of the life essence of the stupid sheeple people. Some concepts are so different than our programming, so we can notice the differences easily. Some good examples are that they are not allowed to leave, ever. And there is no YouTube to share ideas and thought. Their great leaders, as they call them, are nothing but the mere puppets or the front for the military-industrial complexes. They are not allowed to keep media for more than 10 years. It's banned. And they have to keep a picture of the great leader in their home and dedicated to a whole wall. And they're not allowed to put any other pictures on that wall. It has to be like the wall for the leader. Just for like a daily reminder that they're in their brainwashing and how they live. Once a week, they also have to go to their brainwashing form of confession for religious purposes, and it keeps the people there in guilt, shame, and fear, and therefore easily manipulated. This really got me thinking, because I'd consider myself very spiritual, and not going in comparison to other people, but just by my own center of being. And I'm not going to go too into that, but I do know that God is love. Okay? And this military-industrial complex has not shown signs of love. So, in religious terms, they are two-faced liars. Just like the Bible said, there will be many false prophets. I just hope that I'm not one of them. Here in Canada, we are allowed to leave and go to the States or even Australia. But is it really freedom? We have freedom of speech to a degree, but you know as much as I do about the mental barriers and constructs that people have placed on them by the media. It's really all the same. It's a military-industrial complex. We are all enslaved to it in one way or another, unless you live in a tribe in the woods and have had like no contact with money or our system. We have all just been brainwashed to different levels or in a different way. MK Ultra was a black government project aimed at creating sleeper agents, implanting programming into the masses, and infecting us with demons of thought to keep us under their control. Please do keep in mind that MK Ultra was done on Canadian and US citizens, ranging in almost any age group, up to around 20, and they mainly focused on the young, 5 to 10 years of age, because that's the easiest to traumatize. If you don't believe me, look up MK Ultra. It was done to unknowing civilians, No one ever went to jail. Like, so all the people that did all like the electroshock and the rape and the torture and the sensory deprivation and injecting and like giving the people LSD and drugs, like even alcohol was used in some of the instances, like with like 10-year-olds. And we're talking, this is like the government. So no one ever went to jail, even though the government did admit to such crimes, and people were given compensation for their traumas. This does not do anything to the MKUltra program on a grander scale, because the other agents that didn't wake up are still all in place, and nothing has really changed. They said that they stopped, but maybe they are just more covert. How can we trust known liars? Especially now that they have more experience to know how all of this brain stuff really works. And it's so compartmentalized. Not just through legal jargon, but in the very people themselves. People only have little bits of truth, so it takes a great deal of discernment to go through and connect all the dots. It is even harder to connect the dots with a large amount of disinformation which is put out there to the general public. They do this intentionally to try to cover their tracks. They do this not only through the media centers, but through thought entrainment and sleeper agents. The TV idols that are worshipped and praised as much as the great leaders in North Korea. Here in the West, we are taught we have choice. But really, aren't we just on a road with clearly set destinations and gates to keep us on that track, with only schooling and money and indoctrination to worshiping the system serving as keys to progression in our society that are praised? That's how I see it anyway. They had been working on this for a very long time, and not many people out there know the secrets behind the Dark Empire. But I do. At least I know more than many classic sheeple people that watch Ellen and Fox News and follow the Kardashians. They have these people trained to laugh at the most horrendous, horrible things, and it is a mockery of God's true word and love. And we are ignoring the real issues, like being ruled over by dictator rapists and corporations that profit off of making us sick and keeping us medicated. It is time to wake up and really think about global affairs. If you aren't a 33-degree Mason or way up there on the ladder of compartmentalization, then you don't really have a clue. Even this video might seem very deep, but I've barely scratched the surface. So that's my little video. Mwah. Let me know what you think. If you like this kind of deep stuff or have questions about some of the stuff I said, I'd gladly do another video like this. I find I'm able to impart more information this way. I'm sorry it might not seem as funny or friendly because I'm not like interacting with the camera quite so much, but then I get more easily distracted this way compared to having it all written down on a screen. But mwah, 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 mwah. Thank you for watching and appreciate the time. Thanks again.